Welcome back to Community Storytelling Season 7. I'm Lisa Chrysler. Thank you for being with us here at KCAT TV 15. We love having you. I got a special man next to me. You know, the community storytelling is all about do-gooders. People who are doing fabulous, maybe unusual, but always amazing things in the town of Los Gatos and also the city of Montecito. So we're so glad to have this guy here. His name is Eric Horton. Have you seen him around town? You're a local, aren't you, Eric?
Oh, very much so, yeah.
So we'll get into that, but I want to make sure well, first off, I want to make sure I thank Glenn Nagawaza for these gorgeous town pictures. Aren't they something?
They're really cool. Yeah.
The colors are so vibrant, and I love having them behind us on this set. So thank you, Glenn, very much. So Eric Horton is with the Mount Moriah Lodge, number 229?
292.
I was close.
Very close.
I was close.
Yeah.
And you're at the Masonic Lodge, and I walk by there every day and had no idea I'd be sitting down with you someday. But Mount Moriah Lodge, that threw me. What is that?
So Mount Moriah Lodge, well, first of all, it's a Masonic lodge.
So it's the same. It's the one and the same.
It's one and the same. So it was originally Los Gatos Masonic Lodge number 292 when we were chartered in 1888 in Los Gatos. And up until the 80s, it was just Los Gatos Masonic Lodge. It was through the merger of several other lodges that came in and joined with our lodge that it went through a couple of different name changes. And it's really to make brothers that are coming in from different lodges and joining it into creating one united lodge to make everyone feel like they have a part in the lodge. So they voted on the name Mount Moriah.
So dating back in history, though, isn't the Masonic Lodge the first and largest fraternal organization?
Absolutely.
I mean,
yeah.
it's a big deal.
307 years old officially. No.
And does every town have a Masonic Lodge?
It feels like it. And there was a time in the heyday of the Masonic movement in the United States that just about every town, you drive into town, you would see the Masonic square and compass when you entered town, at the welcome sign for the town. So a lot of towns still have Masonic lodges.
So I walk by it almost every day on my round trip walk to and from Los Gatos. And sometimes the door is open. Sometimes the door is not. Weekends, I think you have people gathering there. Tell us what goes on at the Masonic Lodge.
Well, that's a mixed bag. So first of all, we definitely need to do better with our signage, I think. When that building was built, the lodge was very much the center of the community. Los Gatos, a lot of the social activities either revolved around the churches or they revolved around the lodge, or sometimes both. There's a lot of intermingling. And so
tell us the location.
The location is at 131 East Main Street.
Yes.
Right across from the library, the town hall.
Yes.
We're right there.
Okay.
But it's a very, it's a very quiet looking building.
It's a nondescript building, to be honest with you.
It really, truly is. Yeah.
But, sometimes you see people gathering, sometimes you don't. So, yeah, getting back to your story. So, I so rudely interrupted.
No, all good. So we, as a lodge, we meet at least once a month. And that's to conduct business. It's where we decide what charitable organizations we're going to contribute to, what kind of volunteer work we're going to do, what kind of community outreach we're going to do. Basically, it's a business meeting for the most part. But we rent out the hall as well. And that's
I know
how we
you
pay for the buildings.
And we don't have many venues in Los Gatos
No.
other than, maybe a pricey restaurant or something like that. But you got the Masonic Lodge. My HOA had a meeting there a few months ago. And that's how I said, you can actually go in and rent this place?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. We are doing a bunch of work to upgrade the facilities. We're about to build a small stage in there, sound and lighting. We want to start doing live music events there.
Really?
As well, and promoting our own music series for the community to come in and enjoy it. But we're talking with KCAT about some programming as well. So we are definitely open to the public coming in. And we went through, I think, a period of quiet with the lodge. And there's a generation, like my generation, the Gen Xers have come in. And we really want to see the lodge fulfill its role in the community.
So who are your members? I know the Masonics are big on brotherhood. Brotherhood and community service and helping others.
Right.
And so who are your members? How many do you have, and what are you doing in the community?
Well, okay, so our lodge in particular, we have about 280 members.
Really?
And yeah.
Are all Los Gatos Montessorino folks?
At one point, yes, but through the years, people move, but they actually stay affiliated with the lodge, and because it becomes when you become a Mason, it becomes sort of a place of pride, a place of achievement, and also a continual reminder to improve yourself. And so a lot of the brothers that leave town, I still am in communication with them. I'm the secretary of the lodge, so I communicate with all of our members. And I'm still in communication with them. I have many of them who, even when they leave, become life members. They pay their dues for life.
Now, what is a Mason? What is the definition of a Mason?
That is like the
core.
$100 question.
Okay.
Right? So a Mason is a good man who is attempting to make himself a better man. And that's really the bottom line tenet, is we take good men and give them the tools they need to become better men.
Now, were some of these men troubled men to begin with? I mean, where do you get to the point of you become a Mason and a brother? And because often, you're going through some hard time in your life. You're looking for somebody to bring you into something. And I don't know if that's one and the same with the Masons or not.
I think that you get people who join for all sorts of reasons. That's certainly a reason that men would join. And I think that since 2020 and since the lockdown, that is a bigger motivator than, say, it was before. A lot of men are curious about the history. There's all sorts of mystery, associated with Masonry, and so they're curious about that. A lot of men, it's because their grandpa, their father. I mean, in my instance, I'm the third generation Mason at Los Gatos 292. So for me, it was a familial thing.
Sure.
Yeah.
And that's how so many service groups got started. It was a generational thing. It was the love was passed down from the father or the mother or the grandfather.
Yes.
And I assume that is sort of where you guys come from.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure. There's the generational connection, and there are a lot of seekers, right? There's a lot of people out there that really they want to know more about the world and about life and mysteries and that kind of thing. And I think that Masonry really fills that need.
So tell us what you do in the community.
Oh, geez, we for the Los Gatos Lodge itself, we are helping right now with the music boosters wherever we possibly can. I'm trying to make our venue available. Every year they have like an end of year gala dinner for the seniors that are graduating. And it's a big deal for the music class.
Well, you were a Wildcat, correct?
Yes, I was.
What
yeah.
year did you graduate?
Oh, man, I don't know if I want to say.
Well, you can. You're younger than me.
It's long since passed. 1987.
And you were a music student, I take it?
I was not, actually, no. I was actually more of a rapscallion, I guess you'd say. In
All right.
So.
All right.
Yeah.
So you have a real connection to Los Gatos High School, which
Absolutely.
is wonderful.
Yes. And the local schools as well. We've got the mountain schools up 17, Lakeside School, CT English, and Loma Prieta, and we actually do work to support those schools as well. But then outside of our lodge, the Grand Lodge of California, which is all of the lodges combined, we do a lot of outreach to schools and outreach for elder care. We have something called the Masonic Homes, which provides assisted living, memory care, full range of help for elderly folks, as well as, a lot of people don't realize this, but Shriners Hospitals. So Shriners are actually Masons, and the Shriners Hospitals, they were all founded and built by Masons.
And you've got that big football game every year. It's
yeah,
a
we
big
do,
fundraiser.
right? Yeah,
yes.
Absolutely. So there's all those kinds of things. We have a program right now that actually is, I think, one of the coolest ones we do, and it's called Masons for Mitts. And so Grand Lodge has built relationships with Major League Baseball, and so we work in conjunction with up here with the San Jose Giants and with San Francisco Giants.
Well, that's okay. We got San Jose
we got
Giants
San Jose too, right? Yeah. and also with the Dodgers. And so what we do.
Well, we'll forget about
Yeah,
that
I know,
part.
but hey, but it's for a good cause. As long as we're all on the same page for the good cause, it's for
Yeah.
the kids.
Yes.
So we actually raise funds to give mitts to kids who can't afford them, and in a really good, super high quality baseball gloves, mitts. And so we do that every year. I want to say
love
since we
that.
started the program, we've raised about $4 million, and so it's about $20 a mitt. And so we've been doing this for, I want to say, 15 years or so.
You know, being a grandma of a grandson who's 8 years old who has a million mitts, and I know some kids can't afford any of them. I love that story.
I think it's cool. I really do.
It's more than cool.
Yeah, it's fun.
That's a home run.
So there you go,
That is
right?
a home run.
So, and that's something that's what Grand Lodge is doing on the state level. And then as individual lodges, we all contribute. So as a Mason, I'm contributing money to Grand Lodge to be dispersed out to the different programs. We work with schools that maybe don't have funding. So we've got Raising a Reader program that we do. Last year, I think we gave $40,000 to South San Jose School District, they've got no funding. And I was there for the presentation, and just seeing the facilities, it's hard. And so putting together the funds to give that kind of funding to a school that allows them to buy the books and staff the program and actually really make a difference, where kids normally their parents are working two jobs, 3 jobs at a time. They don't have that kind of support. So we try and give that kind of support as well to schools.
Wow.
So
wow. What did we miss? Because this is all amazing.
There's so much to cover.
And I'm so sad that I didn't know about any of this.
That's why we're here.
We need to get you more publicity.
I
You
agree.
guys got to get the word out.
We are trying. Absolutely.
Yes, because these are amazing community things.
Absolutely. It's good stuff.
It's not good stuff. It's fabulous
Well,
stuff.
people are going to be seeing us a lot more around town.
I love that.
So the lodge is no longer dark door, and we are open. We're going to be at all the different events throughout town and supporting those events. We are involved with we're in the Christmas parade every year.
Yes.
But we are also going to be helping out with the Christmas parades. Our lodge is actually the end of the line for the Christmas parade. So we're going to be supporting all the volunteers, the first responders, all the people that are there, the town employees. We're going to have the dining room open, and it's actually open to the public as well. And
I didn't even know you had a dining room.
yeah, well, that's what that big hall is. That's our dining room. That's the dining room.
I just thought it was a meeting place.
We can actually seat 180 people for dinner. So
I'm thinking weddings, graduations.
There you go, that too. Yeah, for sure.
So I know you're president this year.
No,
I believe.
I'm president of the Hall Corporation. So lodges are divided up into two things. You've got the lodge.
Yes.
And that's a 501c3.
And do you all own the lodge? Is it all paid for?
So the Hall Corporation, which I'm the president of, owns the building.
And it's
all paid for. We owned the land in the 50s, and when our original lodge on North Santa Cruz Avenue burned down, we built on our land on Main Street. So we own that building there and that land.
And no better street to be on in
Oh,
Los
it's a great
Gatos.
street. No, it's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah.
So who has decided or realized that we got to get out there? We got to get better known. We're doing so much good in the community.
Yeah.
And Lisa Chrysler was not aware of it.
Right.
That's shameful. That is shameful.
We have a group of brothers that are, like I said, we're mostly Gen X, that, all of us, we're very action oriented, and I'm a relatively driven person. And we all just started talking about just life in general, and it just sort of organically happened,
It's
and
great.
We've got some great folks. One of my brothers, Tony Alarcon, very well known around town, and he's a real driving force behind. He really drove to get the lodge remodeled. He did a beautiful job when he was the president of the Hall Corporation, and that's about when I came in is when he was doing all that work, and I saw what he was doing, and I wanted to be part of that. I wanted to be part of bringing it back to the light again.
And bringing it back to life.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
after COVID happened and during COVID. I think we all got so isolated, and as brothers, we all stayed in communication. We actually just moved our meetings to online and just kept the lodge going. And then when we came back out of it, all of us just realized we need this. And I think that as a community, we need this kind of thing. Masons can get together And it doesn't matter if they're left, right, or center. Okay, it doesn't matter if they're conservative or liberal, Republican or Democrat. We can get together and actually talk about hard stuff because we have learned respect for each other to the point where it doesn't become divisive. It's not about trying to prove something or convince someone else. We are coming to state our truth and listen to the other people's truth without any judgment. And if you say something that changes my mind, okay, I'll adjust. If not, that's fine too. I don't hate you because your views are different. And I think that we need more of that in the world in general. I can't affect, the world in general, but I can affect my community and hope that those ripple out. And if more people are out there making their own ripples, hopefully our ripples will connect.
And do you all call each other brother when you see each other?
Absolutely.
Like Brother Eric? Okay.
Well, I mean, during formal ceremonies, we will, and that's how we address each other. But when we see each other in the street, it's just my brother.
I got it.
Yeah.
So good things are happening. How do people get in touch with you if they want to either join or rent out your Masonic Lodge or anything else? What do we do?
Well, okay, so we can be found online at mountmoriah292.org or losgaddismasonic.org. And Los Gaddis Masonic, like I said, that's the hall corporation that handles all the business. That's where you go to rent the hall. Yeah. If you're interested in masonry,
hey, that's money coming in.
Well, that's how we pay for this stuff, right? And that's how we, give money to the local school for some equipment.
We love it.
We're actually starting a foundation in honor of retired Los Gaddis police officer. His name was Leighton Howard, and Leighton served as the school resource officer before he retired. Was very much beloved in the town, and the family, we let them have the hall to do the services, and the family gave us just a little bit of money to thank you. And we didn't want to just oh, hey, thanks for the money, and so we voted as a lodge to actually use that as a seed to start a scholarship fund for Los Gaddis High students, and we're still working out the details, but it's basically what we want to do is, even though Los Gaddis is a very wealthy school, it's a very wealthy town, there are still kids that go to Los Gaddis that aren't part of that wealth.
So very true.
We want to make sure that if they're a musician, they can afford the instrument they need. If they're a football player or a baseball player or an athlete, they can get the equipment that they need that normally their parents would buy for them, but maybe they can't afford it. So that's the kind of stuff we're going to be doing. And what we want is people who want to come down and be involved in those kinds of things, in coming up with those ideas. All right, we want creative people who can come in and say, I've seen a need in the community and I want us to fill it, right? Instead of just sort of coming in and asking, well, what do I have to do? We want people to come in and say, I've seen a need, can we fill it, and how do we do it? So
you're a good man.
Oh.
You're a good man, Brother Eric.
Well, thank you very much.
This was fabulous. Thank you for opening the doors
to
the organization and the lodge. And wasn't that good? I mean, that's a story for you. Who else has a story? Who else can sit in Brother Eric's chair over there? You go to KCAT.org and do the nominations. Thank you so much for being with us today. That's community story at its finest. And thank you for being with us today. I'm Lisa Chrysler, and we're so happy you're with us at KCAT TV 15.